Oh boy. Can you see beads of sweat running down my face?
You can see the sweat now.
Yeah. The sweat on my brow.
You suffer for your art. You suffer for your fans.
So much suffering.
For your art. For Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, it's all about the sides. That's really the most important part. Sure, the turkey is the centerpiece and gets all the attention, but people are there for the sides.
Yes, and luckily, none of it's hard.
No, it's all pretty easy. Yeah. What makes Thanksgiving hard to execute is the amount of stuff. At home, you're usually not multitasking that much, making all the sides and the gravies and the proteins. It's a lot. It's a lot to do all in one day.
Yeah, but luckily you don't have to.
You don't.
You know, it's actually better to break it up over several days. So we're going to show you 6 easy sides and how you can make ahead at every stage.
Amazing. Yeah. It's a make ahead sides-giving.
Make ahead sides-giving. Huh? Yeah. Shall we go for it?
Let's go.
Green Bean Casserole. I have a lot of warm, fuzzy feelings towards the original, so I'm not making that many changes. We're just gonna make it totally from scratch. No canned soup. We're gonna use fresh ingredients. These are green beans from the market. We got some beautiful mixed mushrooms from the market. And then to lighten it up, I'm gonna do like a layered saucy situation. You'll see. Hot skillet, little bit of oil. We'll add our mushrooms. And I'm gonna salt it right away, okay? I have a controversial opinion on cooking mushrooms. I'm gonna crowd the pan, I'm gonna add oil, and I'm gonna salt it right away. And we're gonna cook this on medium heat. It's gonna take some time. First, all the moisture's gonna come out. It's gonna look really soggy and wet, and then it returns to browning. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that and toss every now and again, and we're gonna blanch our green beans. Blanching means we're gonna rapidly cook this in some boiling salted water, and once it's bright green and just snappy, we're gonna transfer the ice bath to halt the cooking. This is very, very important because we're doing this ahead. If you don't do this blanch shock situation and you just cook your green beans in your gravy, they're gonna just be complete mush by the time you reheat and serve this. We're gonna heavily, heavily salt it. How much salt you add to your blanching water depends on what you're cooking in there and how long you're cooking for. So the shorter time something's cooking in your water, the saltier it needs to be seasoned. We're doing a little batch at a time, because if we add all the green beans at once, the temperature's gonna come down, our beans are gonna take too long to cook, and they're gonna get kind of brown. They're bright green, nice and snappy, and we go right into our ice bath. I dumped the water out of this pot, and right here I'm gonna make my bechamel. We're gonna start with 3 tablespoons of butter, melt that over medium heat. Now, the key to avoiding lumps is we gotta make sure the butter is melted and foamy and hot before you add your flour. I'm gonna add my flour. We're just gonna cook that until it's blonde. Just a couple minutes, really doesn't take very long at all. Let's drizzle in our milk. Steady stream while whisking. Now my biggest bechamel pet peeve is people don't cook out the flour. So we're gonna add all of this milk and let it gently simmer for like 5 to 10 minutes. It's gonna thicken up, get really nice and smooth, and most importantly, that raw, floury, starchy taste is gonna go away. Now, our mushrooms are looking good. I'm gonna transfer this out of here, turn off the burner, more oil in the pan, and I'm gonna go in with some onions and garlic. Big pinch of salt, a little bit of browning around the edges. Now I'm gonna go in with some thyme. We're gonna add a little bit of cognac, a little Henny, flambe. Olé. Do we have fire? I was like, are you even gonna be able to see it? Yes, you can see it, no problem. Gonna add some nice charring to the onion, a lot of flavor. It also is gonna add a little bit of like sweetness and body. But if you don't do alcohol, just leave it out. It's not the end of the world. I'm so sweaty, it's so hot. Just so you guys know, in order to make it sound at least like decent, AC off, windows closed, no hood. So as you watch these cooking things, we're gonna just like progressively get sweatier and sweatier. Tablespoon of butter, big old spoonful of flour here. We're gonna make a gravy. So we're gonna have double gravy situation. We're gonna have like a mushroom gravy and then a bechamel topping. I'm gonna add some broth. You gotta get good stuff. Remember, you want good, wiggly, high quality bone broth. If you had time to make your own turkey stock, amazing. but if you didn't, that's fine. And also this time of year, you can often find really good broth in the freezer section of your butcher. Our bechamel has been simmering away, and it's thick, and it's bubbly. We're gonna season it to taste with salt, pepper, and nutmeg. Now we will turn to our mushroom gravy. I'm gonna finish this up with a little mustard, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. You're gonna take your time. You're gonna stir. You're gonna season. You're gonna taste. We're gonna finish this up with salt and pepper. Make sure it tastes really, really, really good right now, okay? If it doesn't taste good now, it's not gonna magically taste good later. Green beans into our gravy. Nicely combine. Look at that. Come on. That already looks good. Bechamel. Bechamel. Ooh la la. Look at that. Huh? You can see the green beans bubbling under this layer of bechamel. French's French fried onions. I feel like the point of a green bean casserole is the French's.
Test, test, test. We're biscuiting. We're making biscuits. We're gonna make biscuits. We're making biscuits on this beautiful day. In this bowl, I've got some AP flour. We're adding baking powder, sugar, salt. I do love a peppery biscuit. A little bit of white pepper as well. Not too much. Go easy. White pepper can easily overpower. You want it as a light, delicate back note. Whisk until everything is well incorporated. You want to make sure the leavening is evenly dispersed throughout. Otherwise, you're going to end up with some sad biscuits. I'm going to pop this in my fridge or freezer until I get my butter ready. I stored my butter in the freezer for this because I'm going to grate it. Do you ever think this would be our life? Grating frozen butter on the internet? For people's amusement. So we've got our dry mix, our cold buttermilk, and our frozen butter. Everything is cold, cold, cold. In with the butter, and you need to move fast. So we're gonna fold in, incorporate the butter into the flour, in with the buttermilk. You wanna mix and fold until there's no dry patches of flour. We're gonna go right into a quarter sheet tray. So these biscuits are not laminated. They're gonna be really soft and pillowy and great for soaking up gravy. We're gonna press it into our sheet tray. We've got our beautiful tray of biscuits here, and now we're gonna score them. So dip your bench scraper in flour to help it from sticking. You can make these as large or as small as you like. I like a pretty hefty biscuit. Melted butter, liberally brush, just, you know what a biscuit needs? A good amount of butter. I didn't mention and learned the hard way, do not forget to put a sheet tray underneath your biscuits. They'll tend to dribble butter over the edge and smoke the hell out of your place. Once they come out of the oven, you want to go across your cut lines with the bench scraper again. Soft, pillowy interior, and look at how beautifully crunchy that is. Look at that color. Corner piece, yes please.
All right, cranberry sauce. Super simple, very worth making on your own. I'm using frozen cranberries because that's what I could find. If you could find fresh cranberries, go for it. A whole bag. For a 12-ounce bag, you want 200 grams of sweetener. Any kind you want. I'm gonna go with maple. Make sure you do this by weight, because 200 grams of sugar and 200 grams of honey are different volumes. Huh? Careful.
It would have been disastrous.
I'm gonna add the zest from an orange. And I'm gonna cut and juice this. You can also do this with lemon. What else? Lime would be good. Cranberry lime.
Grapefruit.
Oh yeah, grapefruit. Yeah, get creative here. I think it could even be cool to do like an apple cider vinegar cranberry sauce.
Oh, you wild girl.
Wild. I got a palm-sized piece of ginger, and I'm gonna split this in half just to expose the insides a bit, and then just kind of like smash it. Yeah, just smash it. Throw it right in. We want to keep these things big because I'm going to pluck everything out after. And that's it. And we're going to bring this to a simmer. I'm going to let this bubble and everything's going to break down and get jammy. Don't add salt. I know most things you want a little bit of salt, but with cranberry, we really want the tartness of the berries to come forward and salt's just gonna mute that. So no salt here. We just want like sour, sweet, and the spice from the ginger. So my cranberry sauce is really nice and thick and jammy. Looks really good. I'm gonna pluck out the little bits. Right before serving, I love to fold in some pomegranate seeds. It's a really nice fresh pop. That looks good. Look at those jewels. This is very good cranberry sauce. I've like surprised myself. Really good. Really freaking good. I even had frozen cranberries. I didn't even have the best cranberries. Oh man. It is like
very good cranberry.
This is the best cranberry sauce I think I've made. It's really good. I want you to know though, we're gonna have this cranberry sauce on our table. We will still have the can. We are gonna have slices. Slicing the can of sauce was my first job at Thanksgiving. And I'm really excited for it to be our kids' first job. A few more seeds right on top.
You're already having a really heavy meal. The last thing I want is this heavy, buttery, floury gravy on top of things. I much prefer a cleaner, lighter jus. I'm gonna start with chicken wings, and we're gonna split them into 3 parts. The tip, the flat, and the drum. All of these have joints that you just cut through. You just see where it wiggles, and then that's where you cut. You wanna cut your wings because you wanna maximize surface area for browning. Hot pot, neutral oil. In with the wings. No salt at this point because we're gonna be reducing it so much, you wanna save your seasoning for the end. Our wings are nice and brown. In with a chopped whole onion and a whole head of garlic. Use the natural moisture in the onions to scrape up any fond that's at the bottom of the pan. The onions have started to soften. I'm not looking for too much color on them. I'm gonna deglaze with a little bit of cider, for fall vibes. Cook out the cider until it's fully reduced. So you want just a little bit of a glazy bit of cider left. You hear that? It's starting to sizzle again. So that tells me that it's reduced enough and it's time to add our stock. There's one clear way to tell if your stock or bone broth is high quality or not. Do you see how it's thick and has a little bit of a jiggle? You know what that is? That's collagen, my friends. That's collagen. That's what you want in your stock and bone broths. Let's mash, baby, let's mash. Everyone says this over and over and over again. Just listen. Use Yukon Gold for your mashed potatoes. We're gonna be cooking the potatoes whole, skin on. So I like to use smaller potatoes just so they cook a lot faster. We're gonna start with the heat on high. Once it starts simmering, we're gonna bump it down to medium low. We just want a nice gentle simmer. You want your potatoes to cook slowly. The top of our jus is getting a little scummy, so let's de-scum. You see that? What I mean by scum is that little foamy bit in the middle. So I've got a 2-ounce ladle over here, and I'm gonna use the bottom to move it around, and then just dip underneath to get all those foamy bits out. Ooh, our jus is ready. Look at that viscosity. You wanna push down. Make sure you get everything that you can. You don't want a drop to go to waste. If I were to choose one place to indulge in Thanksgiving and kind of go for it, this is where I would do it. Don't you dare think that I'm letting this good stuff go to waste. Dump it out onto a tray and then pick out all of the bones. This in between some squishy milk bread with a swipe of butter on one side and mayo on the other. Ooh, let's check our potatoes. Ooh, look at how it just slides in. No resistance. My potatoes are done. Most important thing when making mashed potatoes is making sure your potatoes stay hot. So I've got my pan over low heat and I'm gonna rice directly into that. The added benefit of using a ricer isn't just the texture of your mash, it also means you don't need to peel your potatoes. You can just go right in there.
I didn't know that.
And then the skin stays right there. And now, let's add some salt. The mash is already pretty smooth. That's how you know your potatoes were cooked correctly. The next important mashed potato rule is hot cream, cold butter. You don't want to add cold cream to the potatoes and drop their temperature. That could make them gummy. And you want the cold butter because as the butter melts, it emulsifies into the mashed potatoes much better than just melted butter would. Mashed potatoes can get gummy if your potatoes get too cold when you process them or if you overwork your mashed potatoes. You want to be gentle with it. Notice how I'm just folding. I'm being pretty chill with my mashed potatoes, pretty delicate. Let's give it a taste and adjust the seasoning. Mashed potatoes need a good amount of salt, so don't be scared. So we're gonna finish the jus with a little bit of Iberico ham. It's gonna dice it up into little bits. I've also got some chives here. Be smarter than me and cut your herbs before your ham, but I was really excited to get into the ham. We've got some parsley that we're also going to finely chop. So you can do this while your turkey's resting after you've added your drippings to the jus. To round it out and add a little bit of anisey notes, we're gonna do some tarragon. Our jus back up to a simmer. We're gonna kill the heat, and then we're gonna add in our ham and our herbs.
All right, stuffing. My favorite side, the best side, and it's really all about bread, so make sure you go out and get some good bread, a nice loaf of sourdough, and we're gonna cut it up into cubes and make some croutons. We're basically making our own stuffing mix. Stuffing mix is just croutons. It just needs to be in smaller pieces, that's all. Don't think about it too much. Olive oil, you could use butter, duck fat, tallow, ghee, any kind of fat. The reason my stovetop stuffing tastes so good is because it's seasoned with bouillon. So we're gonna season with bouillon. Onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, pepper, salt. Toss, 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 taste, adjust. I'm gonna make this at 350. Get in there and toss every 15 minutes until it's really dry and crunchy. Now we're gonna make the mix-ins for our stuffing. You can make a stuffing without a recipe. You just gotta follow this formula. You want some tasty, tasty croutons, mix-ins, any kind of aromatics, some giblets, some oysters, some celery, some onion, whatever you're feeling, and moisture, really good broth. I'm gonna brown some sausage. I've got some hot Italian sausage here. The sausage is totally optional. We want lots of deep color. My mom would always saute up the giblets and the heart, all the innards that come with the turkey and put that in. Look, it's so brown. So brown. It's popping at me. Huh? Okay, I'm gonna turn this off and let the pan cool just a second. The pan is super, super hot right now, and I'm gonna add butter next, and I don't want that butter to burn. So I'm just gonna give it a minute.
It's like Paris Hilton pan. It's hot.
Let's scoop this out. Let's get rid of this excess fat. I'm gonna add 1 stick of butter. It's really satisfying watching a whole stick of butter melt, right? Come on. And I've got some sage leaves. And I'm gonna cook the sage leaves in the butter until the butter browns. It's gonna absorb a lot of that nice sage flavor and the leaves are gonna crisp up. You can kind of hear them. They sound dry, right? I'm gonna scoop these out, leave all that butter behind. This base of fat right now, it has the flavor of sausage and sage. Whew. Heat's on medium, we're gonna go in onion, scallion, and celery. Big pinch of salt, and we're gonna sweat this down until it's nice and tender. All right, so our veggies are really nice and tender and wilted. Now I'm gonna add the apple. And we just need to saute this for a couple of minutes just to get that raw crunch out of here. I'm gonna add the sausage back into here. Oh, thyme, don't forget, some fresh thyme, nicely chopped. To bring it all together, on the big turkey day, you've already got your croutons, you've already got your mix-ins, you got your crispy sage leaves. You're gonna do this after you take your turkey out of the oven while it's resting. I don't like to mix my stuffing too far in advance because I feel like you lose all the texture in the croutons. You want to get the biggest bowl you have, throw your croutons in here. You're going to take all of your veggie situation and throw it right in here. We're going to mix this up with our moisture, the third part of stuffing. Now is the time to splurge on the really, really good broth. You can make this yourself, but there's also so much good broth you can buy now. A couple of eggs. The eggs are just going to help it like bind together a little bit like a bread pudding. So I'm going to toss this together, and you want to get everything evenly coated, soaking in some liquid, and then taste a crouton. I know there's raw egg in there. You'll be fine. Grow up. Taste a crouton, check the moisture level, and then add milk, like maybe like a half a cup at a time. Let's get some milk in there. You're gonna have to taste raw egg, okay? You're gonna need to grow up. When my mom makes kebab, she tastes raw meat. It's fine. Okay, let's taste. You can put this in a casserole dish. I'm gonna put it right back in this big skillet and it's gonna go into a 375-degree oven. It's gonna get nice and brown on top, really steamy in the middle. Ooh, baby, come on. This looks amazing. Crunchy top, you can hear the sizzling, the bubbling, you know it's hot in the middle. Classic sage stuffing. I got so excited. We took our beauties, dug in, totally forgot. Top the whole thing with your crispy little sage leaves. Make it pretty. You will probably forget to do this on Thanksgiving. Make this someone's job.
I know what you're thinking. Salad, Thanksgiving, who cares? I care. In Brazil, whenever you have feijoada, it's so rich and porky and beany. You always have a slice of orange next to it. Bites of orange resets your palate. It stops things from getting way too heavy. We're bringing that principle to Thanksgiving. We've got a beautiful selection of radishes over here. We got French breakfast. We've got some pink ones. We've got this one that kind of looks like a potato. We've got all kinds. Just do what you're feeling. There's no real specific way to cut this. I like hand salads, so I'm gonna keep this a little larger so I can just grab it with my fingers and have a bite of radish whenever I need a crunch. If there's any papery scum on the radish, just scrape it off. I like to keep the root bits onto the radish because I think they're really pretty and they're edible, so there's no reason to get rid of it. This one's a bit too rooty. That can get too fibrous, so I'm gonna trim this one off. Use your judgment. Use your root judgment. I just bought whatever citrus my store had. Cara oranges, blood oranges, grapefruit. Just go for it. If you really like one certain kind of citrus, you can just do all that, but I'm looking for the mix of colors, the mix of acidity levels, a little bitterness from the grapefruit is gonna be great. We're gonna cut the top and the bottom. You wanna see fruit. And now with my knife, I'm going to cut in between the peel and the fruit in a motion that follows the shape of the grapefruit. Don't worry if you miss some and there's some extra pith on there, we can always go back and clean it up. If you're new to peeling citrus this way, take your time. There's no rush. We're just gonna cut them into rounds. And however they fall, that's how they fall. Because some citrus is gonna naturally segment. Any stray seeds, just pull them out now. No one wants to bite into a seed as they're enjoying their salad. In the small pot, I'm gonna glug in some olive oil. Nice amount, because this is what's gonna dress our salad. And then here I've got some chopped up pecans. We're gonna toss that in as well. We're gonna cook that together until the pecans are toasted. Pinch of salt. I'm gonna serve it right in this tray, but let's, arrange it. Let's make it look pretty. This is like a finger painting project for adults. Very lightly seasoned. Make sure you're seasoning right before serving. And now our pretty radishes. We're just gonna layer it. Flat salads are vastly superior to stacked salads because right here, I know exactly what I'm getting into. I can pick my favorite bites. You can season everything perfectly. You can be very intentional with your choices with a flat salad. So we got our flat salad. Let's get the horseradish ready. Horseradish is really easy to clean. So I cut off the bottom and I just peel the amount that I know I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna use around that much. Pecans are almost there, so I'm gonna kill the heat. To season this up, we're gonna add some habanero chili flakes for heat, a little ground up coriander. Coriander and citrus are really good friends. And we're gonna finish it off with some lemon juice. Our dressing's ready to go. And let's drizzle this on top of our salad. Finish it with some flaky salt. And now we're gonna shower on some horseradish.
For a PDF of these recipes, check out the link in the description below. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah?